Welcome to your Certificate to Earn training on understanding the Compassionate Capitalism economic system. This training introduces you to the vision, structure, and impact of compassionate capitalism, an economic model created by King Charles and Lambert to restore Africa's economic independence and rebuild the legacy of the Black Wall Street. Through this training, you'll explore Section 1. The origins and vision of compassionate capitalism. Section 2. The problem with traditional capitalism and the need for change. Section 3. The structure and economic model of compassionate capitalism. Section 4. The 7 features of the compassionate capitalism economic system. Section 5. The 5 significant advances compassionate capitalism brings to traditional capitalism. Section 6. The projected impact of compassionate capitalism in Africa. Section 7. The conclusion and your path forward. By the end of this course, you'll understand how compassionate capitalism transforms everyday consumer activity into a force for shared prosperity, and how you can actively participate, earn, and help shape a sustainable future for Africa. Development is a function of capital allocation, the process that stimulates economies, creates jobs, and improves the standard of living. In today's world, the global financial giant known as Wall Street, worth over $30 trillion, stands as the primary decision-maker on where this capital goes and ultimately, who gets developed. Yet Wall Street has never considered Africa a place deserving of capital allocation, despite the Financial Times confirming that Africa holds the highest returns on investment in the world. For more than a century, this position has remained unchanged, forming a silent wall of economic exclusion. Interestingly, this same reality once triggered a powerful response, not from Africa, but from freed African slaves in the United States. These freed men and women, having endured the same marginalization and racial discrimination of Wall Street, refused to sit in misery, poverty, and underdevelopment. Instead, they created their own version of Wall Street, and they called it the Black Wall Street. Through unity, discipline, and vision, they built a financial system that funded their development, growth, and prosperity. They became millionaires, business owners, and even private jet owners, right in the land of their former oppressors and slave masters, proving that when a people control their capital, they can control their destiny. This remarkable progress angered the racist white supremacists of that era. They conspired, fabricated lies, and created a worthless rift that led to a violent confrontation with the Black Wall Street community. The result was catastrophic. A mob burned the entire community to the ground, killing more than 300 people during the 2-day massacre of May 31st and June 1st, 1921. What was once a shining symbol of Black prosperity was reduced to ashes. No rehabilitation program ever followed, and the surviving residents were forced to scatter to other parts of the United States. The ruins remained untouched, a haunting reminder of what happens when Black progress challenges systems of control. Yet, the story of the Black Wall Street continues to echo today as both a lesson and a warning that Africa's struggle for economic independence and control over its capital allocation remains the unfinished chapter of that same historic fight for empowerment and self-determination. However, in December 2002, a new chapter began to unfold. Charles Nwabuiku Lambert visited the famous Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the very city where the Black Wall Street once stood 79 years earlier. At that time, he knew nothing about its story. What caught his attention was the glaring racial bias, a sea of only white Americans around what was supposed to be the Christian buckle of the Bible Belt. Being a patriotic African, Lambert asked his hosts where the people of African descent in the city were. he was directed to North Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he went and learned about the Black Wall Street and its tragic destruction. How a once thriving Black community had been turned into a ghetto. Overwhelmed with emotion, Lambert wept at the pain of such racial injustice and made a solemn vow to rebuild the legacy of the Black Wall Street, but this time in Africa. Armed with a strong academic background in business, he began to design the mechanisms that could restore that lost legacy. His vision was to develop an African-centered economic system that would channel capital directly into the hands of Africans, enabling them to build wealth, create jobs, and fund their own development, free from the control of Wall Street. In 2011, Lambert returned to Africa from the United States to begin implementing his ideas. A decade later, in 2021, exactly 100 years to the dates of the destruction, he organized a two-day event in Kampala, Uganda, symbolically titled The Resurrection of the Black Wall Street. The event was attended by African Americans and streamed live to audiences across 103 countries around the world. This historic gathering marked not just a commemoration, but a rebirth. The birth of a new philosophy called Compassionate Capitalism, built to restore Africa's dignity through structured, inclusive wealth creation. It represents a new movement where Africans, for the first time in modern history, can participate in an economic system designed by them, and for their collective development. Charles Nwabuikwu Lambert's firm belief was that the same principles which once turned the ancient Black Wall Street into a utopia, a heaven-on-earth community of mutual prosperity and wealth, could do the same for the entire African population. This conviction inspired him to create what he called the 3 core impact points of the resurrected Black Wall Street: educate, trap, and invest. Under Educate, he established the 28 development channels, fully aware that bridging the knowledge divide is the only way to bridge the development divide. 28developmentchannels.com stands today as a revolutionary media and economic empowerment platform under the Compassionate Capitalism economic system. It was created to replace deceptive, profit-driven media with truth-based programming that educates, uplifts, and empowers Africans across 28 essential human needs sectors. Through this innovation, Lambert sought to re-engineer how Africans think, learn, and grow. The platform transforms media from a tool of exploitation into an engine of enlightenment. By shopping on redirectmall.com, users earn investment points that unlock access to transformative educational content, business opportunities, and community growth initiatives, turning everyday purchases into tools for progress. This platform marks the beginning of a new African story, where truth fuels prosperity and people reclaim control over their destiny. Under Trap, he created the Redirect Mall e-commerce platform, understanding that stopping capital flight is the key to industrializing Africa. RedirectMall.com is Africa's first purpose-driven e-commerce platform, powered by the Compassionate Capitalism economic system. It was designed to stop capital flight and rebuild African prosperity by redirecting consumer spending from foreign corporations to African-owned businesses across all major sectors: fashion, beauty, healthcare, home, machinery, services, and entertainment. Every purchase made on RedirectMall.com earns investment points, turning ordinary shopping into a continuous cycle of community empowerment, job creation, and sustainable local growth. The platform gives African producers the opportunity to lead in their industries, while allowing consumers to play a direct and active role in reclaiming the continent's economic independence. Under Invest, Lambert introduced OpportunityPages.com, a gateway designed to help Africans utilize the investment points they earn through regular product purchases on RedirectMall.com. OpportunityPages.com serves as Africa's central hub for economic empowerment and practical opportunity within the Compassionate Capitalism economic system. Built to end dependency and exploitation, it connects individuals to real jobs, business contracts, investment opportunities, and specialized training that build lasting wealth and community cooperation. Beyond this, the platform provides access to philanthropy programs, capital support, and value-based events that enhance each participant's economic value score, enabling them to engage fully and productively in Africa's new, inclusive economy. To ensure that the same achievement of utopia once experienced by the original Black Wall Street is realized for Africa, Lambert structured the Compassionate Capitalism economic system to apply these three core impact points: educate, trap, and invest across all 28 basic human needs sectors. He called all these innovations, interlinked mechanisms, and empowering platforms collectively the Compassionate Capitalism economic system. The Compassionate Capitalism economic system is built on 7 transformative features, 7 pillars designed to redirect global commerce, restore balance, and align human economic activity with divine purpose. 1. Investment points. The first feature is investment points, a principle captured in the phrase, "Graze the cow you milk." It ensures that every purchase of goods or services rewards the consumer with a discount in cost, issued as investment points. These points are not mere rewards, they are the seeds of ownership. Consumers can use them to invest in need-based commercial projects for financial returns, or to invest in career-building certificates to earn. This feature transforms everyday consumption into a cycle of empowerment, where spending becomes saving, and saving becomes investment for both personal and community growth. 2. 28 need-based sectors. The second feature emphasizes the 28 need-based sectors. It prioritizes access to 28 basic human needs for everyone before any further aspirations. This ensures that every individual has what is essential for life, promoting contentment as a core value and establishing empathy-driven investments as the new norm. Here, development is measured not by excess, but by sufficiency, and every investment must pursue a triple bottom line of financial profit, social good, and environmental care. 3. Development rankings. The third feature introduces development rankings, a system that coordinates unbiased measurement and public reporting of access to the 28 basic human needs for each segment of the world. By comparing these metrics with more developed regions, the system highlights areas of deficiency and directs investments, policy formulation, and public action toward closing those gaps. This feature replaces empty economic theory with visible truth, ensuring that every person, organization, and government can see where help is needed most. Fourth, democratic economy. The fourth feature establishes the democratic economy, a people-centered market model designed to reduce and eventually eradicate market monopoly and economic imperialism. Through local production support and market guarantees for local producers, this system promotes a market of the people, by the people, and for the people. It restores dignity to African producers and ensures that wealth creation flows from community effort, not corporate domination. 5. Economic value. The fifth feature focuses on economic value. It organizes and strengthens the labor market by promoting an economy-focused educational system, encouraging skill acquisition, and nurturing character-centered capacity building. Here, productivity is measured by merit, eliminating favoritism, nepotism, tribalism, and mediocrity from the labor process. By aligning skill, discipline, and integrity with reward, this system restores fairness to how labor contributes to production and national prosperity. 6th, Trinity accounts. It structures a triple financial account system that involves 3 core functions: expenditures made through the shopping account, empowerment of the shopper through the investment points account, and receipt of profits and dividends through the returns account. This threefold structure ensures the absolute end of lack, poverty, despair, and economic hopelessness by allowing every economic action, from buying to investing, to feed back into empowerment. 7th, consumer education. It prohibits the concept of make-believe in advertising and promotes the honest education of consumers about every offer made by producers. This approach eradicates exploitation, deception, fraud, and even the loss of life that can result from misinformation. By elevating truth above profit, this feature restores trust, transparency, and responsibility in global trade. Through the implementation of compassionate capitalism and its 7 core features, global commerce will be redirected toward equity, truth, and shared prosperity. When this system is fully realized, the earth itself will transform into the kingdom of the God of Abraham, fulfilling the Creator's original intent for humanity, a world of abundance, fairness, and compassion, where economic systems serve people, not enslave them. Capitalism has long been both celebrated and criticized. It effectively harnesses human potential and raises living standards. Yet it often deepens inequality, breeds exploitation, and fuels greed. The real challenge has never been to replace capitalism, but to advance it, keeping its innovative power while correcting its moral failures. This balance is achieved through the Compassionate Capitalism economic system, created by King Charles N. Lambert, which elevates capitalism through 5 key advances. 1. From individualism to communal gain. Traditional capitalism drives economic activity through self-interest, appealing to greed and competition that erode empathy and social balance. It creates endless rivalry and moral decay. Compassionate capitalism replaces this with communal gain, teaching that personal prosperity depends on the well-being of one's community. By sharing success and fostering empathy, societies build sustainable, collective prosperity, where individual progress thrives through shared joy. 2. From highest aspirations to contentment. Capitalism pushes humanity toward unreachable goals that often end in frustration, greed, corruption, and disillusionment. The obsession with more drains happiness and breeds inequality. Compassionate capitalism restores balance through contentment, inspiring people to pursue achievable, meaningful goals that provide fulfillment and peace. Contentment sustains motivation, reduces vices, and builds societies rooted in cooperation rather than envy and conflict. 3. From creating wants to meeting needs. Capitalism thrives on inventing wants through manipulative advertising and needless innovations, twisting consumer priorities away from essentials toward luxury. This creates inequality and exploitation. Compassionate capitalism redirects focus to meeting basic human needs across 28 essential life sectors. It promotes empathy-driven innovation, truth-based communication, and measures corporate value by impact on people's quality of life, not just profit margins. 4. From maximizing profits to empowering consumers. Capitalism's fixation on maximizing profit often leads to exploitation, deception, and disregard for public welfare. Compassionate capitalism redefines this by investing in the consumer. Through the revolutionary concept of investment points, every purchase becomes an opportunity to invest in one's future. Consumers earn points they can use on the Compassionate Capitalism Investments platform for commercial projects or professional training, ensuring a cycle of empowerment and shared growth. 5. From blaming government to corporate responsibility. Under capitalism, corporations exploit markets, avoid taxes, and fuel public hardship, while governments shoulder the blame. Compassionate capitalism restores accountability by urging corporations to take responsibility for the well-being of market participants. Businesses that invest in consumer welfare and community development secure both public trust and long-term market stability. Compassionate capitalism does not reject capitalism, it redeems it. By merging empathy with enterprise and replacing greed with shared growth, it transforms the pursuit of profit into a pursuit of purpose. It advances humanity toward a new era where innovation and compassion coexist, building an economy that truly serves all. The projected impact of compassionate capitalism in Africa is nothing short of transformative. This new economic system is actively reshaping the continent's financial destiny through a network of 28 mobile applications, each aligned with one of the 28 basic human needs. Together, they form digital pathways connecting people, products, and opportunities across Africa. Visit www.ccmothersite.com to explore all 28 platforms. These apps, powered by the 28 development channels, unite commerce, education, and investment, revolutionizing how Africans live, learn, and earn. The system directly confronts Africa's greatest economic enemy, capital flight, the persistent outflow of wealth to foreign markets. By influencing consumer behavior toward local producers and service providers, compassionate capitalism ensures that African money circulates within African markets, fueling industrial growth and community prosperity. Anchored on its 3 technological pillars, 28developmentchannels.com, redirectmall.com, and opportunitypages.com. The system leverages digital innovation to keep value where it belongs, at home. With these platforms fully operational, compassionate capitalism projects to capture at least 25% of Africa's $4 trillion annual buying power, generating over $1 trillion in net income every year for the system and its risk-free shareholders. Everyday Africans participating in this inclusive economy. This projected outcome represents more than economic reform. It marks a historic turning point. Africa's transition from dependency to self-sustained prosperity, driven by a compassionate, people-centered economic model built for empowerment, equity, and shared wealth. From the ashes of the old Black Wall Street rises a new vision, the Compassionate Capitalism economic system, designed to restore Africa's economic independence and dignity. Inspired by the lessons of history and the leadership of King Charles N. Lambert, this system transforms capitalism from self-interest to shared progress. Where traditional economies served greed and exclusion, compassionate capitalism builds an ecosystem of empathy, where buying, learning, and investing all drive collective prosperity. Through its 3 pillars, 28developmentchannels.com, redirectmall.com, and opportunitypages.com, and the 28 human need apps, Africa now has a self-sustaining model that keeps wealth within her borders and turns everyday spending into meaningful investment. Its 7 core features and 5 key advances give structure to a moral, democratic economy, rewarding productivity, promoting consumer education, and ending capital flight. The system bridges faith and finance, aligning human enterprise with divine purpose. Africa's transformation is already unfolding. As local producers thrive and consumers invest in their own communities, a trillion-dollar future emerges, built not on charity, but on shared ownership and purpose. The call is clear. Be part of this rebirth. As a learner, shopper, or investor, your role fuels this new economy and advances Africa's destiny. Together, we are turning history's pain into progress and building the compassionate world humanity was meant to live in. Congratulations on completing this certificate to earn training. You now understand the foundation of the Compassionate Capitalism economic system. Earn your certificate, share the vision, and play your part in rebuilding Africa's prosperity. Next, please proceed to take the short assessment test. Once you pass, you'll receive your official certificate to earn for this training. This certificate confirms that you successfully completed the required course to qualify for participation enlisted on opportunitypages.com.